So this is a little off topic of anything we've talked about.
It's fine.
Have you heard the song 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton?
Is that working 9 to 5? Is that
Yeah,
that one?
that song.
Yeah, I've heard that.
We had a huge fucking argument at work because there was a bunch of people who have never heard of it.
Why'd that start an argument?
Because it's dumb. How do you not know? It's one of like the top songs.
Were you gonna make fun of me if I didn't know of it?
A little bit.
Okay.
Like, I don't expect you to know the whole song. I don't know the whole song.
Just to know of it.
Yeah, like know that it fucking exists. Recognize the chorus.
I mean, I have trouble blaming people for not knowing things, because like it's just if you haven't come across it, that's not your fault. That's just the circumstances led to you not seeing that or hearing that.
But 9 to 5 is just so big, and Dolly Parton is America's sweetheart.
Not really
Also,
anymore. I mean, how often do you hear about Dolly Parton anymore?
I mean, I wouldn't stop hearing about how dudes wanted to still bang her after she was at like the Lions game for Thanksgiving. Because she wore a cheerleading outfit and people were saying that she was still hot.
Like last Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Well, I don't watch football, so I don't know about that.
Does no one in your family watch it? Because it was like the big Thanksgiving game.
My family does watch it a little bit. My brother does. A couple other family members do a little bit. But
like it's not something you guys have on at Thanksgiving.
It was probably on, but it wasn't like a significant. We're watching it the whole time. Yeah. It's like it's on during dinner, and every once in a while they check the score.
Okay. See, football is one of the few sports I kind of care about.
I like watching it. I just don't really invest in it.
I like football. I like hockey.
Hockey's fun too.
Okay. I am okay with baseball.
Soccer I can watch too.
Fuck soccer.
Soccer's just simple.
I also have the opinion that baseball is garbage. Not baseball, basketball.
I was gonna say, didn't you just say you watched that?
I think that basketball is garbage.
Why?
It is. I don't know what it is about it. It is so fucking boring.
Oh, just not entertaining to you? Huh.
No. Like, I have respect for the people who play the sport. I have respect for people who play any of those sports, because, like, that takes way more physicality than I have.
Just not a type of game that you're into, as a concept?
I have tried watching basketball, both, like, at, like, when we were in school, like, at that level, and, like, at the professional level.
Yeah.
And I've never found an interest.
Is it, like, not action enough? Is it, like, not enough movement? What's going on? Like, not enough variety?
I don't think that there's enough going on, because everyone's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
The thing with football is, like, everyone's doing the same thing in football for the most part, but there's, like, way more physicality to it, and I just like that. I like watching that.
There's more plays, a lot more interaction.
Yeah.
It's a little bit less repetitive, I think.
Yeah. I've recently cared, not about the sport itself, but all the shit going down in the WNBA, because that's been, like, wild to look at.
Is there shit going down?
So they just, I can't remember her name, it's Caitlin something that they just signed in the WNBA, and she's, like, bringing actual view, because, like, the WNBA has kind of struggled to find its audience. And they signed this new girl, and she is bringing in so many viewers and so much money. But because of that, she is getting, like, way more, like, physically attacked on the court by other players who are jealous that that she's the one who brought them in, to the point where one girl even said that she was proud to be the villain in this story.
Huh. I mean, I kind of get it, because if you can be the villain, then you also get the attention, can take it away a little bit. And, like, hopefully... Maybe they're jealous because she's probably getting paid more if she's, like, the figurehead.
Probably.
So they're trying to get a little piece of that.
This is someone who is bringing eyes onto a struggling product.
Yeah, that doesn't make it fair. I'm not trying to justify it, but I'm just trying to find a reason.
But yeah, no, like, the WNBA has struggled to find and keep an audience, and it's happening now, and people are trying to vandalize it because they're not the ones who's quote-unquote saved it.
Huh.
I don't know.
At some point, you gotta, like, cut your losses and take what you can get. Like, if your career is being made better, it's worth it.
I have no doubt in my mind that, maybe not this season, because I feel like contracts are probably already done, but next season, contracts are probably going to be a lot higher because they are going to have that money.
Yeah.
I'm switching topics again.
Just got more stuff in your mind.
Yeah, there was something I want. So the reason I really wanted to do something today. Today's kind of sucked.
Oh.
We gave away 2 of the kittens.
Oh.
That was all. So the plan was to keep none of them.
Well, it's so sad to see him go.
Then Justin was like, "If there's an all-white cat, we're keeping it." We're like, "Yeah, like that's gonna fucking happen." And then the last one was all white. And then a lot of our people who were taking cats dropped out, so it looked like we were gonna be keeping 3 of them. And I was convinced that the guy who was coming to take one was going to be taking Howie, the gray cat.
Okay.
And I was correct in that. However, we ended up getting a last-minute person who wanted a kitten, and they got Chalupa, which is the one I wanted to keep.
Yeah.
So I was very sad today. He was my favorite.
Because you were probably expecting that to be the one you keep at that point.
I had cool because after we were like, so many people dropped out of getting kittens from us. Like we had like 4 people and then backups for the backups, and then everyone dropped.
What were the reasons for dropping?
A bunch of different ones.
Like changing minds, decided they couldn't keep a cat at the time.
One of my coworkers was supposed to take one, but it was going to be like when she moves into her own place, which she was supposed to like a month or so ago, but a bunch of financial shit went down and she just can't afford her own place for like another year or so.
Okay.
And she can't, her parents don't want a cat in the house, and she's living with her parents right now. So she had to say no, and like we can't hold on to a cat for that long because we're gonna be way too fucking attached to it. I have a hunch that a lot of people who said they really wanted one were just saying that and had no intention of actually taking one.
Like just to make you feel like you had some security in it.
Yeah.
That was gonna happen.
Like they were like, oh yeah, there's no way I'll actually have to end up taking one.
But then time comes and they're like, oh wait, you expected me to.
We're still keeping 2 of them. We've still got Hank the Tank, and we've got Gambit, which I love all of them. Chalupa was my favorite. Mm-hmm. I've always liked this map a lot, just because I like how colorful it is, like, as you go.
Yeah, you're kind of revealing more of something rather than just like, oh, it's a backyard. It feels like more of a prize when you get it done.
Yeah.
It's visually appealing.
It's also just massive.
Speaking of visually appealing, so after we recorded the podcast, Nick wanted to watch a movie he was talking to me about. Justice League Crisis of Two Earths, I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
Animated movie. It's cool. It was fun. It's a little animated movie about Justice League. I don't watch many Justice League movies, and the animated ones are cool. I like the style. Had some funny bits, had some cool bits.
Yeah.
And there's a character in there that I really love. In the alternate universe, in the alternate Earth. Do you know the character Superwoman? Who's got like the black suit? I'm into it. Added to the list. A future look purple picture.
At this point, it's hard to find one you're not into.
Yeah. But like Wonder Woman, the like alternate, well, they're not the alternate. The one from the standard universe doesn't do it as much for me. But that one, Superwoman, she does.
I wonder why. I actually like Wonder Woman a lot. I had a hatred for her for a while.
Why?
Part of it's not her fault. Part of it is
What'd she do to you?
The fault of Death Battle.
Oh.
And the way she's handled in all 3 of her episodes. When you're not super familiar with a character, but like you watch that kind of show, you tend to form your opinion on them around what you get from that show.
Yeah, the only information you have.
And just I feel like of her 3 episodes, she's portrayed well in one of them, but she's not handled well in any of them. But I've grown to really like Wonder Woman over time. However, I feel like she way too easily gets sidelined.
It just in media generally that she's
Yeah,
in?
I mean, like, she has her own comic line and that stuff, obviously, but she is almost always second place to Superman.
Yeah.
Hell, in, like, Injustice, one of the most popular forms of DC media over the last, like, I don't know, decade or so, she is Superman's, like, right-hand person and, I guess, wife after he murders Lois Lane on accident.
What happened? What did he do?
Oh, you're not familiar with Injustice?
No?
Okay, it's both a comic line and a game, which I figured where you may have known it from.
Yeah. I know, like, the basic idea, I think, that there's... Is it that there's alternates of them, or is it that they got taken over by some sort of evil force?
So it's like an alternate universe.
Okay.
Where, the Joker put something, I think it was, I don't remember if it was like a toxin or something, or if it was a device, it's one of the two, in Superman that made him see that he was fighting Doomsday. In reality, he was just beating the shit out of Lois Lane.
Gotcha.
Who at the time was also pregnant with their child.
That's rough.
Yeah, so he went a little insane and starts what's called the Regime, which is a total world order under Superman. And, like, it's a lot of murder, and then him and Batman fight.
Is it, like, once he's out of the Joker's control of, like, seeing that vision, he just is like, fuck everything? Or is he
Pretty
still
much.
under the influence?
He is, like, well, for one, he murders Joker.
Okay.
Like, he knows what's happening, and he shoves his arm through Joker's chest. He thinks that that the justice system has failed because Joker was still alive after everything that he did, and it let him do what he just did.
Yeah.
And so he just takes over. And he kills a lot of superheroes. Anyone who disagrees with him gets killed, including a child, because Shazam is a child.
Oh.
A lot of the villains are like forced either to serve him or team up with Batman and, like, the resistance against Superman.
Hold on. So Shazam is a child, but still personified as, like, a man. Is he just like a kid who grew up too fast? What happened?
So the way it works is he was granted the power of the living lightning. Or no, wait, no, that's Black Adam. Hold on, I'm getting their power origins. They have, like, kind of like the same powers because they're rivals, and that's just how comics work. Is your rival has to have the same powers as you.
Yeah.
So he's basically got this, like, god power. That when he says the phrase Shazam, it strikes him with magical lightning, and he gets that adult body that can control the power.
Okay.
But, like, when he's not in that power, yeah, he's just a child.
That explains the commercials of the movie more.
Oh, I never watched the movie.
I never watched it either. Well, I mean, if I watched it, I probably would have had a little bit more of insight on this topic. But,
yeah?
Yeah, I don't know shit about any superhero stuff, clearly. I was always wondering why he always acted so childlike in the commercials, and why there was, like, so many other kids that were his friends.
I think one of my favorite moments, I believe it was from one of the Injustice comics, was before like, the regime fully went into effect. Superman was still, like, figuring out how he wanted to do things. He was kind of going in on the whole, kill people who break the law shit. And Flash was real against it. And so the way he tried to get it through Superman's head that what he was doing wasn't the right way to do it, he was like, alright, let's play chess while we talk about this. And you just see these two playing chess at, like, the speed of fucking light while they like, talk through everything. And the end, when Flash wins at chess, he just says, so we kill anyone who doesn't recycle. because like he's trying to make it like show him how fucking absurd it is.
Oh, gotcha.
Like he wasn't actually pitching that.
Yeah, it's just.
He's like, do you see how fucking stupid you sound right now? Like, chill out. And then Superman was like, no, fuck you. And then Flash joined the regime anyway, I think out of fear. Injustice is whack. I like it.
Yeah, whack in a good way, in an entertaining way.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff.
That's what I was telling Nick earlier, too. Like, the DC stuff is good at doing this sometimes, where if it gets a little bit grittier and shows, like, more serious problems and the superheroes that are so idolized a lot of times having problems like a human, it makes it very interesting.
There's a few ways to instantly get me interested in something, and DC tends to do it a lot, which is alternate universe stuff. That's one of them.
Yeah.
I love the idea of alternate universes. The other ones just have really good music or zombies. Having zombies in a project is the fastest way for me to actually like, all right, this is amazing. I want to watch this.
Just in any context, having zombies?
Yeah, I love zombies. Like, do you use TikTok a lot or no?
A bit, but I don't know if I see the same as you.
Well, do you ever get like those? They're just like the TV clips of stuff.
Sometimes, but not often. I don't get zombie stuff.
Okay. Well, the zombies a little separate from this, but it's like
Okay.
it's gonna lead into it.
Okay. I know what you're talking about though.
Have you ever gotten the clips for the show called The Rookie? It's a cop show with like that kind of older guy who's like a brand new cop for some reason.
It doesn't sound familiar. Maybe if you describe it more.
So there's like I said, kind of an older guy, and he is just starting as a cop despite being in like his 40s. It's him. It's like a couple, like a smaller. I think she's. I'm thinking on faces. I'm bad with those. Like a smaller girl who he's paired up with a lot of the time. And there's a lot of side stories about like the cops dealing with, like the black cops dealing with racism and all that.
Okay.
You may not have seen it, but there is something to this. I have no intention of watching that show. You throw zombies in there though. I don't care if it's alt universe or if they legit just decide to throw zombies in the main world. I'ma fucking watch that shit.
Oh, okay. I know if I ever make some media that I want you to watch for sure, then I need to put some zombies in there.
I don't know what it is about zombies. I think it is the coolest fucking concept.
Huh.
Hell, despite it like not being all that great, Borderlands DLC wise, the fucking the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned is my favorite DLC, even though it's not the best, because zombies are that fucking cool.
So you like them in games?
Anything.
Do you like the mechanics of them, or do you like the story of them? Do you like that they're just cool?
They are cool. I think that the way that each different variation of zombies tends to function is very interesting. You
like the variety of them?
Yeah, because like just like you have The Walking Dead, you know, the slow moving big herds. You gotta bite or just don't destroy the brain. You have The Last of Us with the fungal stuff. You have like Marvel and DC zombies where they keep some level of intelligence and their powers. Like that shit is cool.
It is. It is. You're starting to convince me more and more.
Even though I'm not the biggest fan of the Marvel Zombies run because of how it ended and how stupid it is and doesn't make sense. It's still cool as shit. I'm waiting for What If to finally get back to that.
That's another thing on my list of things to watch is What If.
I enjoy it a lot. Again, What If scenarios are the coolest thing ever.
Well, that's basically
Actually,
alternate universe stuff too.
well, yeah, kind of, but like a lot of times, alternate universe also tends to dive into like, separate character stuff, like changing characteristics kind of drastically. Like with Into the Spider-Verse, Peter Parker's there, like in that other universe, but he's a very different Peter. There's a new Dragon Ball Z game coming out, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero, which, by the way, I've been waiting 15 fucking years for. And they're doing a thing in the in the story mode where you're gonna have the option to change how the events go. So, like, you remember when I was showing you Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
Yeah.
When Raditz came down and stole Gohan, and Goku went with Piccolo to go fight him.
Yeah. I think I do.
You're gonna have the option to go alone, and instead of with Piccolo, and then Krillin will run after you and go and help you fight, which
That's
leads
cool.
which apparently leads into later on, instead of having to wait until Frieza for Goku to go Super Saiyan, shit goes down with Vegeta and he goes Super Saiyan. Like, it happens way earlier.
So you're playing. I don't know anything about the games. I barely know shit about the show. You're playing the story as it was in the original story, but you could just take some other paths. That's awesome.
Yeah. But just about every Dragon Ball Z game, barring a few, every single one of them is just replaying the story of Dragon Ball Z.
Like, to the T.
Yeah. There's some differentiation, like with Dragon Ball Z Universe, which is an entire game dedicated to the concept of multiple universes, like in timelines and shit. And it actually spawned into something awful, that I also really like, but it's also awful.
Like, objectively awful?
Kind of. Dragon Ball Heroes is an acquired taste at best. It's fan fiction on steroids, essentially. But it's canon. It's a little whack, but it also introduces some really cool concepts. And it gives characters who aren't canon to Dragon Ball a chance to actually shine. Because, like, none of the movies are canon.
Zero of them?
Until Super, none of them are canon.
Oh.
Dragon Ball Super happens, and Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, Broly, and Superhero are all canon. But, like, the original Broly movie, the cooler movies, Super Android 13, all of them, they're not canon. Never happened.
Okay.
They were kind of just a way to put in movie form a sort of, I don't want to use abridged, but that might be the best term, abridged version of the current story that is being told, or that was just told, usually. So, like, you remember the Tree of Might? You remember that one?
Can you describe it?
That was the one where a Saiyan Turles came down and planted like a giant tree. They had it in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, masquerade as a Christmas episode.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was sort of a alt version, I guess, of the whole Saiyan storyline, with a Saiyan coming down from, space, basically fucking everybody up except Goku, and then fucks up Goku.
So it's trying to get the same points across in a shorter version with a little bit of adjustment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Different characters and such, but same premise. Then Dragon Ball Super goes away with that, and it makes me very happy. And then they do the stupid thing of just making 2 arcs of the anime the exact same plot of the movies, just longer. I legitimately, while I'm glad that it happened from like a perspective of someone who does versus debate stuff, because it gave us concrete universal Goku, those arcs suck.
I guess maybe I shouldn't ask about them. Doesn't matter. Yeah, ask about the arcs.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Spoiler warning? Question mark? Maybe.
I mean, they're over 10 years old now.
So am I.
We watched Battle of Gods. That was the one where Beerus came down and Goku attained Super Saiyan God. Do you remember it all?
I remember the name.
That was the one we watched when you came to watch SummerSlam.
Beerus is purple guy, right?
No, it's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay, you know what I mean though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The arc changed a couple little things. Like, little stuff that doesn't matter, which I don't care that they changed because, like I said, it doesn't matter. Like, instead of it taking place at the Briefs complex for Bulma's birthday, it's on a yacht. It's like, that doesn't really affect much. I don't care. But they stretched it out over such a long period. Like, the movie takes up, I think, a little over 2 hours, maybe. The arc is like 30-some episodes.
Completely unnecessarily?
Yeah. Like I said, the only thing I'm glad it did was give Goku concrete, Universal's feet.
Every time you say more and more about Dragon Ball, I always have more questions, and I feel like it would be a never-ending thing if I just kept asking.
I mean, kinda. It's something I've known for so goddamn long. Like, I've been watching Dragon Ball since before I was, like, able to function thought.
Side note about the game, how do you do the mode where it's duck hunt?
What do you mean?
Where moving the mouse doesn't move my character, but the gun.
Oh, C.
See? Okay, thank you.
I don't like doing that, though. It confuses my brain.
There's specific portions where it's useful for me. Or if I just don't want to see the whole screen move a bunch more.
Yeah. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Was it yesterday that we recorded?
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about the Pokemon thing a little bit yesterday. I actually went through and made a list of all the Pokemon I'm gonna allow myself to use during our race.
Okay. So you gotta completely limit yourself on those?
Yeah. Like, I am using only what is considered bad.
Okay. Are you gonna try
There's
to...
a couple exceptions, but...
I'm curious. Are you gonna try to make it fair or, like, balanced, or are you gonna try to make it just a little bit so, like, not a complete sweep of victory for you?
I'm gonna try and make it fair.
Okay.
However, I'm not going to hold back my skill and, like, purposely lose shit.
Yeah, that's what
guys.
the limitations are for.
Yeah. I'm going to be specifically using Pokemon that are considered anywhere from okay to bad. No matter, like, which actually kind of works out for me a little bit because a lot of the Pokemon I really like aren't very good.
Okay.
They're just like, they have funny designs or they're kind of cool looking, but they play like garbage, which getting into Pokemon is going to happen a lot. My favorite Pokemon has been in the lowest tier of competitive since like Gen 3.
What is your favorite?
Muck.
Oh, I used to have a Pokemon card of Muck, and it was the only one I had.
He is my favorite because no one else loves him.
That's fair.
Someone's gotta love him.
Relatable.
One thing that really upsets me is because he's not popular, he doesn't really have merchandise.
Oh, yeah.
The only bit of merchandise that really officially exists for Muck outside of Pokemon cards is Pokemon has a line of Pokemon plushies called Sitting Cuties, where they take an entire generation and they make little plushes of them all just sitting, so you can have them like on a shelf.
I saw Jaden open all of them.
Yeah, from Gen 5. The Gen 1 sold out very fast, and I don't know if they'll ever redo it.
Ever we do Gen 1 or all of them?
Gen 1.
Okay.
They probably will at some point, but God knows when that will be. And, like, resellers are selling them for such a high price.
Yeah, I bet.
It's like, I just want my Muck. I have a finger puppet of him somewhere that I found at a convention that was definitely not licensed by Nintendo to sell.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, at a convention.
They got enough money.
I know it's not gonna happen, and there's no way they'll hear this message, but Pokemon Company. Pokemon Legends ZA comes out next year. We're bringing back Mega Evolutions. Give my boy a Mega Evolution. For the love of God, please. He needs it so bad. He is useless in battle.
You know, maybe they won't hear this unless there's some miracle happening. But maybe just it being out in the universe now, it'll wiggle its way somehow, like someone will hear it, and that watches this, and they'll relay it to somebody, and they'll relay it to somebody, and it'll get twisted and warped until it eventually gets to the correct person that can make it happen.
See, the funny thing is, I can't even claim that they're not giving Muck the love he deserves, because one, no one cares about Muck outside of me, so clearly he doesn't deserve that much. But two, they actually gave him something really good. I just don't personally like it that much.
What do you mean?
They do regional forms of Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
So you go to a new region, and it's the same Pokemon, but it looks a little different, has some different stats, maybe some different typing. In Gen 7, they made a Alolan Muck. And I don't like it as much as everyone else does. Everyone else thinks it's such an improvement over Muck. I don't like it as much.
I want to look up a picture of this.
Yeah, look up Muck and then Alolan Muck.
Okay.
I like Muck so much more. But everyone else, and I get why, but everyone else likes Alolan Muck. And I'm alone in this frustration, so I'm never going to get anything about it.
Okay, so this is Muck. Luke put up a picture of him. And this is Alolan. Huh. I see why people like that better. Yeah, more colorful, more stuff, just more elements in the character. A little bit more emotion, I think. A little more like personality.
And he's better competitively. Like, the way that the tier system works for Pokemon is from the bottom up, there is ZU, which I don't remember what the Z stands for, but it's like, it's meant for, like, Pokemon that aren't fully evolved.
Okay.
Then there's PU, which doesn't stand for something, unlike the rest of them that are in these higher tiers. It literally just means they suck.
Okay.
NU for never used. RU for, are rarely used. UU for underused. OU for overused. And UU for and then Ubers. Muck for a while, for Gens 1 and 2, I believe, he was in NU. But he's been in PU ever since.
The one that isn't actually an abbreviation?
No, it just means that he sucks. Whereas Alolan Muck, I don't know if he's still there, I'd have to check, but he was in OU.
That's a big jump.
Yeah, because he's better in every way. Better typing, better stats, better abilities, everything.
Oh, I wish I could climb this. Oh, I kind of can. Hold on, maybe. Wait, am I up on it right now?
Ah! Kinda.
Tiny bit. Gonna use your ladder to get across.
Yeah, 1 second.
Excuse me.
Nice. Can you take it while I'm on it?
I don't believe so, no.
Damn, it'd be funny.
Whoops. Hold on. Almost got it. There we go. Just got to parkour a little bit. Hup! Fuck! Hold on, I'm coming back. I can do this. I can do this.
Bro, just move the ladder.
It's about the challenge of it. What are video games if not fun?
Awful.
Exactly. I'm trying to have fun.
Why would you do that? This is a video game. You're not supposed to have fun.
It's supposed to be awful?
Yeah.
Awful is what they call the inside parts of creatures that aren't used.
Dinosaur.
I don't know what it was, but earlier, before we recorded the podcast, me and Nick went to go get donuts, and
like usual.
Yeah. What we usually do, my podcast up here, click here for the link. I don't remember what we were doing, but I was driving, and we were making some sort of conversation. I made some offhand, out-of-pocket comment like I usually do. Something inappropriate, and then it was right as I was, like, pulling up to the parking lot. So I say that, and then there's a moment of silence. Then I take the keys out, and I'm like, okay, let's go get donuts.
When I come up there next, we need to get donuts. However, I am buying donuts this time.
Okay.
Because I don't know if this is something you guys consistently do, but you guys suck at buying donuts.
What do you mean we suck at buying donuts?
Because when I went there and you guys got donuts, the entire box was the same donut.
Okay, it was probably like the cardboard box with the clear plastic top to it, right?
Yes.
That's because we got donuts from like Walmart where they didn't have a selection, they just had the pre-made boxes.
I don't care.
We just wanted some cheap donuts and that's what we got. The place we went to get donuts here, like today, which is like what we usually do when we want actually good donuts, is a place where they make it in-house every day, and it's very quality stuff. They have a bunch of different stuff. They have new things coming in, and we each get different ones, and it's a great time. And it's quality donuts. They taste great. We got some today. I ate like 3 of them. One of them was too big, and now I'm hurting, but it's worth it. So we'll get donuts there, and you'll be happy.
Okay. It's like
I'm sorry that we sullied your donut experience.
This is like, I was convinced you guys were just fucking weirdos who got a box of 12 glazed donuts and that's it.
No, we usually, if we are going to a place where we choose, we switched up a lot. We get a dozen and then we split the dozen, so we might get a couple repeats between us, but we choose 6 different donuts for ourselves.
Right.
So that's what we'll do when you come here.
So we'd each get 4.
Or we could get 2 dozen each, get 8, depending on how.
I am not against this.
Alright. We got a plan.
If we said now we need to plan and when I'm fucking coming. Like we've planned everything except, when the fucking trip is happening.
I don't know if we planned everything. We just kind of said you were coming here. You're probably going to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
And then we get donuts.
I'm running this by you now as like a potential idea.
Okay.
For what I want to do for my birthday this year, and I want you and Nick involved.
Okay.
I want to go fucking camping.
Oh. I like that idea.
I have not been camping in so fucking long.
Dude,
I love camping.
I'm so down for that. Because me and Nick have wanted to go camping like together for a while, so we could bring like all 3 of us. That'd be awesome.
I was thinking about maybe 1 or 2 other people as well.
Sure.
Just so you know.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I have not been camping since like fucking elementary school.
I go camping with my family a bit. Like we take trips around Michigan, and we usually, it's cheap and we get to be outside, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go camping. I'm excited.
Okay, we're doing that for my birthday this year.
Yeah, for sure. I'm down.
So what? We take like, I don't know how long. Again, like it's been so long. I don't know how long we should go or anything like that.
I would say like probably between 5 days and a week, maybe a little bit over a week if we really like it.
I would say I probably just for work reasons I would say a week.
Okay.
So take a week off for work so I can go camping.
Yeah.
And then come back and then Laura would be like, "Yo, what'd you do for your birthday?" I'm like, well, "I went fucking camping." Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I had a birth week, and it was outside, and we made stuff on the fire for dinner, and it was great.
I got mega wasted night 1 and then
forgot the rest of it.
And then was throwing up the rest of the trip.
Great birthday.
I'm glad. I did not expect that reaction, though. I will say that. I didn't know you were into camping.
I really like camping. I usually have most of it like set up for me already because my dad's big into camping, and he likes doing the whole like make dinner on the fire most nights.
Well, obviously, yeah, we have to do that.
Him and Laura usually always sleep in the camper because they don't want to do the tent thing because they're old.
I get that, yeah. We're doing tents.
Yeah, because don't really have anything else.
Yeah, it's like partially because of authenticity, but also mostly because I don't have a camper. Yeah. We are gonna have that is gonna have to be a lot of planning. We'll say that.
Yeah. We'll probably find a place where we can like go into town and find a couple restaurants, find some touristy shit to do too.
Yeah.
Wherever we go.
I just don't want us to be out there one night and be like, "Yo, we forgot to buy dinner."
Yeah. And there's no place within 30 miles to eat.
So
we had to starve or scavenge.
We're eating Nick tonight.
Or sacrifice, yeah. Starve, scavenge, sacrifice. The 3 S's of camping.
Exactly. I'm very glad you're on board, though, because I was afraid you would be like, what the fuck? Why would you want to do that?
What is a camping? Girl, I only go glamping.
That sounds like something poor people do.
I think Nick is definitely going to be down for it.
Oh yeah, I hope so. If not, we force him.
Yeah. I think you and I could overpower him.
I think I could overpower him.
You
I
hear
mean
that?
that in the nicest way, Nick. If you're watching, I love you.
Yeah.
But I think I could overpower you.
Well, I don't love you, and I don't think I could overpower you, Nick, so take that.
I don't know which one would hurt more, honestly.
Nick has to figure out which one of those is the truth.
Why can't they both be the truth?
We'll find out over camping when we're isolated and he can't do anything about it.
When he finds out when we try to sacrifice him.
And it either means that I don't love him, so I don't have any regret in my eyes, or he figures out that he can overpower me and gets away.
Your sacrifice.
Yeah.
I'm cleaning a stegosaurus.
You're doing the stego right now? Ooh, it looks good.
The inside looks like garbage.
Most inside stegosauruses probably do.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, this little guy. I love that it's called the stego slide.
Oh yeah.
This game makes me forget the bad things.
Oh yeah.
Like
It's so nice.
I almost forgot about the TikTok thing you were talking about earlier.
I was about to bring that up again, like, oh, I made you forget that.
Not
like,
quite
nah,
yet. That's
I think
within the
it's
same
better.
session, so it's still
Yeah.
it's
You
still
will have
waiting to be
forgotten by
cleansed.
tomorrow, hopefully.
If we play this again. Oh. Is the inside a separate thing? No. It's all done?
No. The Smegosaurus.
Yeah. Look at that dopey face.
So I'm probably gonna play more tonight, but I was thinking about my time with getting over it. It is a good game.
It is a good game.
I cannot believe I'm saying that. It's one of those games that like I've been wanting to try for years, but because I know I rage at stuff and there's a good chance I might just put it down and never go back. I could not justify spending full price on it.
Oh yeah.
But I got it for like $3, so it's like, alright. Like at this point, there's really not a reason to not try it. One of the games that I got was one that I had interest in, and then I looked at the gameplay and I was like, I don't know. That was a SCP strategy.
What is that one? I heard you say that one before.
It's like a weird top-down strategy game, and I just wasn't sure how I'd feel about that with SCP.
Are you fighting the SCPs?
I'm not 100% sure. I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
But it was 98 cents.
Oh, yeah. That,
Like,
if you're like intrigued by the idea, then that's worth it.
Yeah,
Shot.
even if I'm not sure, I'm paying less than $1 for it. There's no reason to not at least give it a shot.
I have had Containment Breach in my library for a while, and I still want to play that.
I think I have Containment Breach. I'm not 100% on that though.
I think it's multiplayer. Years ago, I watched people play it on YouTube, and it looked difficult and terrifying. It looked like it had the kind of dread that I look for in horror games. Of like,
Okay, yeah, I do.
You do have it?
Yep.
From what I remember, it's like really difficult to find your way. There's so much variety in the SCPs, so you never know what you're gonna get. If you do know what you get, like what's coming up and what's chasing you, then it's even worse because you know what they can do. You know how much they can reset your progress. You know how futile it is to try to get away from them. It's just a really interesting and I think well executed form of a horror game that I am excited to try. I don't know why I haven't yet.
I mean, I'm just a huge fan of SCP. I think SCP is cool as shit.
Yeah.
I definitely think YouTube farmers have heard it a bit.
YouTube farmers?
People who make low effort content to farm views.
Oh.
It definitely kind of hurt its reputation a good bit. That and SCP obviously is that it's the type of thing that's it's free. Anyone can write whatever they want about it.
It's the Wikipedia of horror.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool.
Because people make some cool shit there. There's some dumb shit, but there's some cool shit.
That's the thing is that a lot of the times you have to weed through a lot of garbage and people who just don't know how to write. Which, if you don't know how to write yet, maybe don't share it publicly. Get at least some good stuff out of you before you start sharing it publicly.
Well, sharing it publicly is also how you can get some really quick and very precise feedback. So maybe it'll give them the most criticism that they need to.
But I also feel like sharing your earliest works, which you can tell for some of these people is, online like that is the easiest way to get discouraged, because so many people are not going to sit there and tell you how to improve. They're going to tell you to kill yourself.
That's true. It would take a specific type of person to be able to handle that, and then also weave through all the hate that came in.
But I love SCP. I'm still waiting for Death Battle to finally do an SCP episode.
That would be interesting, because there's a... Would they face up against another SCP or something completely different?
Likely something different. There's not a whole lot you would really do with SCP, just because so many of them are very one-note or don't have that much combat-esque stuff. But they did a Death Battle cast on with one. Have I ever talked about Death Battle cast?
Is that just where they kind of talk about it casually and see who they think would win?
Yeah, kinda. It's more like they have like a debate between two people. One person picks each side.
Okay.
And one of the last ones they did before Rooster Teeth shut down, they had to stop, was Doomsday from DC versus SCP-682, which is like a big immortal lizard thing.
Okay.
And like I thought that was really cool, and I think SCP-682 wins, which would be really funny. That this random internet lizard beats one of DC's most powerful beings.
A lot of the SCPs are fucking crazy overpowered.
One of my favorite things ever is that there is another SCP, I think it's an SCP or it might just be a relic in the SCP like universe as stuff, that its entire ability is it's a sword that erases things from reality.
Just by touching it or like cutting it or what?
Yeah. Like it touches something and it erases it from reality. 682's whole thing is being unkillable. Like it can adapt to anything. Someone hit it with the sword and the sword stopped existing.
Oh. Okay, so it's like it just completely ignores any other rules.
Pretty much, it will be hurt by things, but it will then learn to adapt.
Okay.
Like that was like a weird instant happenstance of it, but like they tried, you know, the one, like the really skinny one with the big ass claws that like if you look at it, it hunts you down. Yeah. They tried using that thing to kill it. Because, like, it hunts you to the end of the earth and will not stop till you're dead. So they showed SCP-682 a picture of that one. And even just a picture of it will cause it to hunt you down. It ran to the containment for 682, swung on it for, like, a couple hours or something, and then ran away crying.
Like, just completely gave up?
Yeah, like, it could not do it. They've tried nuclear weapons, they've tried, like, literal reality erasure, and they could not do it.
A world where all this stuff exists would be complete chaos. It would not last.
No. Like, in SCP, they're able to contain this shit. I don't know how. How the fuck did they contain 682? The only way they're able to keep it under wraps is they have it, like, in a constantly changing formula of acid, so he can't consistently adapt to it.
Oh, doesn't have time to.
And he's just forced to constantly regenerate, so he can't use any power for anything else.
Is he doing anything?
He just sits in it, because he can't leave.
I mean, like, when he theoretically was out, was he doing anything then?
His goal is destruction of humanity.
Okay, like entirely.
Yeah.
That's no good.
And now I'm thinking of all the series I want Death Battle to do if they come back. We got so fucking close to a Looney Tunes episode finally. And then Warner Bros. Had to shut them fucking down.
Did they say what they were gonna do?
They did like the Tournament of Champions thing. And the winning matchup, the one that got picked to do that for them to do in the next season was Wile E. Coyote from Looney Tunes versus Tom from Tom and Jerry.
Oh, that'd be fun. I think you told me about that.
Yeah. The funniest thing to me about that whole tournament is that the final round was Wile E. versus Tom and Kratos versus Asura. And not only did Kratos versus Asura get beat out by Wile E. Coyote versus Tom, last year's tournament, last year was, it wasn't the Tournament of Champions, it was the Champions Poll. And they did two, one for a 2D sprite episode, one for a 3D episode. And Kratos versus Asura got second place then in the 3D poll.
So everybody that's been voting for them has been crying, probably.
They've been cucked twice now. And I find that fucking hilarious. Mainly because my matchup got eliminated round 1, and I'm still mad about it.
So you do not feel bad for the people who got second?
No. That was so unfair, though, like what they put my matchup against. That was some bullshit.
What was it? Can you remind me?
So my matchup is Clementine from The Walking Dead, the game, versus Ellie from The Last of Us.
Okay.
And they had that up against Spike versus Revy, which is one that, like, it's not huge, just because Black Lagoon, or Lagoon I think it's called, and Cowboy Bebop aren't huge now. But like that one, and then fucking Hulk versus Godzilla. And Palpatine versus fucking Xehanort.
Yeah, that's a rough competition there. I feel like they did that intentionally. Like, okay, let's get this one out of there.
Well, like, they only did episodes. The only episodes that got put into the Tournament of Champions were ones that they had some interest in doing.
Okay.
So clearly they had some interest in doing Clementine versus Ellie.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have posted it at all.
Right. I didn't think it was gonna win. I kind of knew it wasn't gonna win.
Oh yeah, I'll put it out there.
Of, like, all the other, there's a lot of shit that got eliminated round 1 that I'm still upset about, even though I probably shouldn't be. Like fucking one of the last rounds, the Grinch versus Jack Skellington was in there.
Oh, that'd be fun.
It got eliminated in round 1. Here, I'm gonna pull this up real quick. I'm gonna stop playing for 2 seconds while I pull this up. I want you to tell me what you think won each round.
Okay.
Just because I think that's fun, and because you're never gonna get them right.
So should I guess against my instinct? I'll guess with my instinct. I'll guess what I think would win.
Yeah, go with your instinct on this, because I just think that's the best way to do it.
Okay.
So round 1 was Luz from the Owl House versus Anne from Amphibia. Monokomo from Danganronpa versus Koro Sensei from Assassination Classroom. Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles versus Lightning from Final Fantasy. And Kasen Ibaraki from Toho Project versus Fleetway Sonic from the Sonic comics.
If I had to guess, I would think the second to last one would be the winner.
Shulk versus Lightning?
Yeah.
So that one received 18% of the votes. Sonic versus Ibaraki got 11%. Luz versus Anne got 30%. And Monokomo versus Koro Sensei got 41%. Which shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I thought Luz versus Anne was going to win, because it's one of the most popular matchups.
I mean, as a person who doesn't know the community that well,
yeah.
I guess I didn't like know that context, but yeah, I'm just kind of going based off of what I, with my very limited knowledge, think would be more popular.
So round 2, Gru from Despicable Me versus Megamind from Megamind.
That seems like a big one.
Zeus from Greek mythology versus Odin from Norse mythology.
That also seems like a big one.
Little Mac from Punch-Out versus Ippo from Hajime no Ippo. And Peacemaker from DC Comics versus Soldier Boy from The Boys.
Huh. These all seem like they would be pretty well desired. I think Gru and Megamind is the winner. So,
Peacemaker versus Soldier Boy got 5% of the votes. Zeus versus Odin got 17%. Little Mac versus Ippo got 24%. And Gru versus Megamind got over half the votes with 54%.
I think that lines up for me. That seems like it would be a very well desired one. And I respect it. 3,
Ragna the Blood Edge from Blaze Blue versus Velvet Crow from Tales of Berseria. Sailor Moon from Sailor Moon versus Madoka from Puella Magi Madoka Magica. Scorpion from Mortal Kombat versus Wolf from Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. And Composite Ryu from Street Fighter versus Composite Goku from Dragon Ball.
Whoa. I would go with Scorpion and Wolf.
That's what I voted for. Is that the one you think won?
The tone you're giving is no. So I'll just go with that, sure. Because that's what I would have gone with.
Ragna versus Velvet got 8%. Scorpion versus Wolf got 17%.
It's not as much as I would have thought.
Composite Ryu versus Composite Goku got 37%. And surprisingly to me, Sailor Moon versus Madoka got 38%.
I don't know who Madoka is.
I don't either.
Okay.
And that's part of why I was surprised. I have not watched Madoka Magica. I'm going to eventually because I've been told it's really good. But, alright, week 4. Luke Skywalker from Star Wars versus Saber from Type Moon. This one's cheating a little bit if I'm being honest. Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat. Hiccup and Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon versus Hero and Baymax from Big Hero 6. And Sackboy from Little Big Planet versus Maxwell from Scribblenauts. So
what?
you know the winner.
Yeah, what was the second to last one again?
Hiccup and Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon versus Hero and Baymax from Big Hero 6.
I think if I was voting, I would pick that one.
That's what I picked. But it ended up with Luke versus Saber getting 14%, Sackboy versus Maxwell getting 17%, Hiccup and Toothless versus Hero and Baymax getting 20%, and then Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat, it was almost half at 49% of the votes.
Okay.
Okay, week 5. Kratos versus Asura, Homer Simpson versus Peter Griffin, Jimmy Neutron from Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius versus Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory, and Naruto from Naruto versus Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece.
Because I don't know Azura at all, I would think that that would be the least desired one. But obviously, community disagrees and picks otherwise. That's a close matchup. I don't know what I would vote for in there. What would you vote for?
I voted for Homer versus Peter.
I would think that one would win, because I feel like people would meme about that a lot.
Yeah. So Naruto versus Luffy got 10%. Jimmy versus Dexter got 14%. Homer versus Peter got 33%. And Kratos versus Asura got 43%.
33 is a lot.
Yeah.
Especially for the second of that group.
So week 6 is Lucina from Fire Emblem versus Grovyle from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. X from Mega Man X versus Optimus Primal from Transformers. Percy Jackson from Percy Jackson versus Zagreus from Hades. And Scott Pilgrim from Scott Pilgrim versus Kazuma Sato from The World versus Konosuba.
I would vote Percy and Zagreus. I think that would be an awesome one.
That is what I voted. No, I voted for Lucina Grovyle. Scott versus Cosmo got 14. Lucina Grovyle got 21. Percy versus Zagreus got 23. And the most shocking to me, X versus Optimus Primal got 42% of the votes.
That's way more than I would have expected.
Right? And then week 7, we have Spike versus Revy, which is Cowboy Bebop versus Black Lagoon. Hulk from Marvel versus Godzilla. Palpatine from Star Wars versus Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts. And Ellie from The Last of Us versus Clementine from The Walking Dead.
Well, I also know how this one goes.
Well, you don't know the winner.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I feel like I would be biased towards yours just because I would want to see it happen. I feel like I would go with the Hulk and Godzilla one because I wouldn't expect that matchup ever, but it seems I would be really interested to see what they do with it. So I think I picked that one.
So Ellie versus Clementine got 12%. Hulk versus Godzilla got 17%. Spike versus Revy got 27%, shocking me. And Palpatine versus Xehanort got 44%.
That's also more than I would have expected.
Week 8, this is one that I was also very pissed off about because there were 2 matchups in here that I really wanted, and neither of them won.
Okay.
So there's Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street versus Pennywise from It.
That sounds awesome.
Skeletor from Masters of the Universe versus Lord Zed from Power Rangers.
That sounds awesome.
Sans from Undertale versus the Judge from OFF, which I don't. That's something. I know it's like a really popular fan game. I just like a indie game, but I never played it. And then the Grinch from Dr. Seuss versus Jack Skellington from Disney.
Freddy and Pennywise sounds really fun. I think I would go with that.
So I voted for the Grinch versus Jack Skellington, which only got 14% of the votes.
Really?
Then Skeletor versus Lord Zed with 19. And then the other one I really wanted to win, which was Freddy Krueger versus Pennywise with 25% of the votes. Sans versus the Judge won with 42%.
From OFF?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I think it may have won mainly because of Sans and the meme.
When was this, though? This was...
last year.
Undertale isn't huge anymore, though.
It's not, but I don't know.
I guess it's very recognizable.
Alright, so now we're in the couple rounds leading up to the final, so there's 2 semifinal rounds and then the final round.
Okay.
So, these are a little cheating, but, because you do know what the final one was, you talked about that.
I'll say what I go with.
Yeah. So, it was Monokomo versus Koro Sensei, Gru versus Megamind, Sailor Moon versus Madoka, and Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat.
I would probably go Gru Megamind.
So, Sailor Moon versus Madoka only got 8%. Monokomo versus Koro Sensei got 10%. Gru versus Megamind got 39%. And Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat got 43%.
That's a competitive top 2 right there.
And, like, looking at the actual number of votes they got, Gru versus Megamind got 975 votes, whereas Wile E. Coyote got 1,075, so it was a 100-vote difference.
Which isn't huge.
No.
That's a pretty close one.
So then week 10, we have Kratos versus Asura, X versus Optimus Primal, Palpatine versus Xehanort, and Sans versus the Judge.
I'm pretty sure each of those have somebody that I don't know in them.
Let's see, you don't know Asura. I don't think you know who Optimus Primal is. Or do you not know who X is? Or both?
I don't know who X is. Optimus Primal...
He's the gorilla.
The gorilla one. Okay, I've at least seen the trailer, so I know the character.
You don't know Xehanort, I'm guessing.
Correct.
And you don't know the Judge.
Yeah. So each of those have one that I have no frame of reference for.
Yeah.
Kratos Asura, just because I like Kratos right now.
Fair.
So I would like to see him somewhere.
X versus Optimus Primal got 7% of the votes. Palpatine versus Xehanort got 8% of the votes. Sans versus the Judge got 37%. And Kratos versus Asura got 48%.
Alright.
And then I just want to know, what do you think the percent difference was between Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat and Kratos versus Asura?
If it was second again, I would think it's close. I don't know if it would be more frustrating for the Kratos Asura voters if it was close or if it was like really far off. Yeah. I think it was close. I'm gonna say it's a 6% difference.
So Kratos vs. Asura got 46%. Wile E. Coyote vs. Tomcat got 54%.
8% difference. Damn.
Yeah. With exactly 200 vote difference.
Mm. That's rough for that fan base who has won that for 2 years. What else we got?
Yeah,
we're missing something kind of big-ish. Oh, the whole play set part over here with the ladder.
Also, there's a piece up here I forgot about earlier.
Oh.
But yeah, Tournament of Champions. I love the Tournament of Champions. I think it's a very cool idea.
It just can be frustrating to put your votes out there and then it means nothing in the end.
That is twice now, though, I will say, as much as I love it, that's twice now where the matchup I voted for did not win. Or the one that I wanted to win, like, out of the ones that were in. Alright, we're doing this one more time real quick, just so I can talk about this super fast.
Okay.
So before they did the Tournament of Champions, they did the Champions Poll, I believe is what it was called.
Was it just a similar thing?
It wasn't like a full tournament. It was just a poll.
Tournament of Champions sounds way cooler than Champions Poll.
I agree. So yeah, there were 2 polls, one for 3D, one for 2D. So the 2D poll, I'll once again I'll just ask you which one you think would win.
Okay.
Was Captain America from Marvel versus Kamen Rider Ichigo from Kamen Rider. Among Us versus Fall Guys. Kyle Rayner from DC versus Simon the Digger from Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Ori from Ori and the Blind Forest versus the Knight from Hollow Knight. Finn and Jake from Adventure Time versus Mordecai and Rigby from Regular Show. And Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls versus Discord from My Little Pony.
I would go Ori and Hollow Knight, but
really?
I think, and just because of all the fucking memes around it, I feel like Among Us and Fall Guy would win, but I don't think I've ever heard about that happening, so I don't think it actually did win. But who won?
Bill Cipher versus Discord. We don't have percents for this one.
Okay.
But that one won. I think they did mention that Captain America versus Kamen Rider Ichigo had the least votes. And then for the 3D poll, there was Cole McGrath from Infamous versus Alex Mercer from Prototype. Kratos from God of War versus Asura from Asura's Wrath. Steve from Minecraft versus Emmett from the Lego Movie. King Ghidorah from Godzilla versus Deathwing from World of Warcraft. Illidan from World of Warcraft versus Zhao from, I believe that's how you pronounce that, from Genshin Impact. And The Spy from TF2 versus Agent 47.
Huh. Okay, so I know who does win this one because I saw the episode. What was the last matchup again?
Spy from TF2 versus Agent 47.
I think I would do that one if I was voting.
That's fair. I personally voted, what did I vote for? I voted for Cole versus Alex. Just because, like, I've been waiting for that. Funnily enough, actually, despite the fact Bill Cipher versus Discord was in my top 3 most wanted matchups of all time, I did not vote for it because I was pretty damn sure that of the episodes there, it was the most likely to happen on its own.
Oh, it was just gonna happen anyway, so it was like, why would I waste a vote on this?
Pretty much. So I voted for Mordecai and Rigby versus Finn and Jake.
Okay.
That's awesome. And we haven't had a duo episode in so long.
When was the last one that happened?
Back in season 3, they did Ratchet and Clank versus Jack and Daxter, which is one that I'm very excited to show you guys. I know you guys, I don't know if Nick does, but I know you have probably zero connection to them.
Yeah.
But I am a pretty big fan of both Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Daxter. Where the fuck is this tower support?
I know,
from?
I'm looking for the same one. You've been looking at the bottom floor, I've been looking for the top floor. I don't see it at the top floor. Got it? Okay, tower trims.
It wasn't showing up for some reason as, like, it needed to be cleaned.
What is tower trim?
They're like the little white, yellow blocks around the base of the towers.
Oh, okay. Oh, here it is on the side. This one. I don't know where the dirt is. Is it on the inside?
It could be.
Yeah!
Jesus, what is happening? I just was launching everywhere.
We got inside each other.
There's gonna be so much of this, like, near the end of me just standing there because I'm talking about Death Battle.
Shoot your toesies. Your legs don't exist. I can shoot your legs and they don't interact with it.
Nice.
It starts interacting when I get to the blue part. But your boots are non-existent. They're non-corporeal. Alright. Is it gonna include that in the time-lapse?
No, I already watched the time-lapse.
Oh, okay. I thought we had it at the same time. Like, I had to hit it because I'm the host.
No, I can do it
okay.
on my own, but I have to wait for you. Because you're fucking lame.
Yeah, I know. Let's do the golf cart really quick.
Yeah.
It's funny to end it off on just like... Ding, 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 ding. Again. We're already at 36%. Yeah, top. Blast all this shiz away.
Hey, you can't say that word.
Shiz? Blast? This?
Yeah.
Which one?
All of that.
All of that? I can't say all of that one word?
Correct.
Okay. You know how it will kind of autocomplete if you're really close on a section? I wish it... I don't know if I fully wish it. I kind of wish, in this moment, that it also did that for the entire thing. Like if you got to 99.5% and there was just, you know, these 3 things to do, they would just finish it off for you.
Oh yeah.
The chassis. Chassis.
What is chassis?
The chassis. Oh.
Oh.
Apparently I just blasted it. Oh. The chassis is like the main body of it, right?
I don't fucking know, man. I know nothing about cars.
It's not a car, it's a cart.
You're a car.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate this.
Why?
What is a detached house?
I don't remember.
Okay. I do like how they kind of alternate it. Like you, every once in a while, in between jobs, you can just do a quick little vehicle wash.
Yeah.